Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully, you hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. That way, you get more of my content, and it'll notify you on your feed every time a new video is uploaded. Now, today we're gonna be reviewing Captain America by Dan Jurgens. This is the variant cover, so this will be the front. Let me show off the dust jacket real quick. Here's how the dust jacket looks. This is the spine. This would be the back of the dust jacket. I apologize for the glare. Here. I like the way they did this here. You get every cover right here. So you know in exactly what order the books inside are, right? This would be the exact order. It shows you the cover and what issue number and so forth. Previous Marvel books, they put them here in the middle. Here they went with all stacking them all up on one side, which I did not mind. I kind of like this. It's a little different, but still very similar. So this covers issues 25 through 50 of the Dan Jurgens Captain America run. Starts from 98. Finishes around 2001. So yeah, you get quite a bit of material. Then you get a few annuals and other stuff down here, right? Now, here's the inside of the dust jacket, the inner flaps. You see here it has some info. It says the writer and pencilers. And they got some stuff right here. Then creators, Dan Jurgens and Andy Kubert, right? So it has all that on this side. I really like this picture here with Captain America holding the flag and so forth. So yeah, let's show the book itself. Okay, this is the cover without the dust jacket. And this is the other dust jacket. The regular dust jacket cover would be this same picture. This is how the spine would look. And this is what the picture on the back would look. I love this picture back here with Cap and Red Skull back here. Very menacing. It's very telling of how the actual book is. The first half wasn't my favorite. But the second half of the book, the villain he's fighting is Red Skull. And it gets a lot better in my opinion. Here, so you could get a rough idea on the 2-page spreads how much gutter loss there is. As with most Marvel books, they're really good about the gutter loss. You always get very minimal gutter loss. The pages themselves, they're a bit thin, but that helps the book lay flatter. And it helps with the gutter loss and so forth. Also, they feel better when you flip the pages. It feels a lot better when they're not as thick. The only issue with that is if you're reading an older Marvel material, they have the white panels and the white borders, and you could kind of see through the other pages, and that's kind of a bummer. But when it's with more modern stuff like this, where you clearly don't have white borders and so forth, it doesn't really affect the art in any way. So in these situations, I don't mind the thinner pages. Again, they lay flat easier. The thicker ones, in the beginning of the book, they will tend to open up like that. So yeah, let's show off the spine a little bit. Alright, there's the spine. You don't get much of an eye hole, but enough. The thing is, you want these pages to lay as flat as possible. So here you see they lay pretty flat, but you do get quite a crease in here going down. The less of this crease you get down here, the less gutter loss you'll have. So here you can see they clearly do wave down a little bit because you don't get a big eye hole right here. But it's decent though, it's still pretty good. Here in the first page you see here you get the blue inner covers. That's pretty cool. I like the color. It fits Captain America's costume and so forth. First page, a huge picture of Cap. Then here, credits to everybody that worked on the book, artists, writers, so forth. There's mainly the same writer. That's why it's called the Dan Jurgens Cap Omnibus. But you do get quite a lot of artists and so forth. What I don't like is after this page, that's it. The book starts. You don't get no table of contents showing you what page, what issue starts on and whatnot, right? I really like to have the table of contents. It's not here. I don't know how much good it would have done anyways, because in these issues, let me flip to the next page. See, they don't show the page number anyways on the bottom, so it wouldn't have mattered, right? You'd be kind of lost regardless. Okay, here the book would end. This is the last issue, and these are the extras. This is how much extras you get, so not much. You get this script here, and it's kind of like a movie script. I don't mind what it does here. It's kind of cool, like for those of you that are inspiring writers, you want to write a comic book someday, or a script for a movie or something, this kind of shows you the process of how that works. So that's pretty cool if you're into that stuff. I've seen the behind the scenes process of how things are done. Like in documentaries, I'm a fan of those bonus discs you get. I'm the guy that watches those. Now here, for example, look, but I have no dreams of writing comics or anything like that, but I do like to see how the things are made, right? Like for example, here it says page 5. It'll say, later, totally dark now. Exterior shot of a small, simple, but welcoming type of house. So now the artist, when he reads the script, he knows on the first page or panel, draw a house over the top shot in the dark. So he kind of has an idea of what he has to be drawing, right? Then it says here, Christmas decorations are on the door, in the yard, and now continues to fall. Okay, so you know he knows to draw a Christmas theme, right? And here you get some artwork in black and white, so you could kind of see how the artwork looks before it's colored. Makes a huge difference. They get totally different vibes when it's in color and when it's just in black and white. Sometimes black and white's better, sometimes in color's better. But overall, I tend to, for comics and so forth, I do like it to be in colors. It adds a lot to everything. And here, look, you see like the people writing, the artists and so forth, his signatures, and they write all these like other things when they erase stuff and so forth. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna flip through some of the pages and talk about the story a little bit and give some vague opinions. All right, so the first issue is called Captain America Giant Size issue, right? It says Special Anniversary Edition. So it's a long, like 60-page issue instead of they're normally like 25 pages or so. Like the cover there with Cap and Falcon there. Now this issue is included in here because you see here Nick Fury returned. So he was believed dead at this time. As you read the story, it explains to you how he was dead, and here he's making a comeback, right? The world's gonna know he's still around. Even S.H.I.E.L.D. thought he's dead, so they already had a new leader and whatnot. And he's gonna come back to restore order, let everybody know, hey, I'm back. What kind of decisions have you made? Scratch all that, change everything back to my way and so forth, right? And the person that was boss at this point is now being demoted back to their old spot, and he's going back to his spot and so forth. So yeah, it starts off here he's trying to escape and Hydra's after him. You see the soldiers back here. Crazy. And Nick Fury's a tough son of a gun. He's just a regular human. He got no superpowers or anything. He's over here fighting werewolves and shit. So you know, he's a badass. This first story arc, our main villain is this guy. He's our big bad. His name is Hate Monger. Now it turns out Hate Monger was the original Hate Monger back in the 50s comics, 60s comics. When they removed his mask, it was Hitler. So that was pretty crazy. Hitler was out there spreading hate. You know, who would have thunk it, right? I mean, he seems like such a stand-up guy. All right, so yeah, the original one was Hitler. Now it turns out over the years, different people get the throne, right, of Hate Monger. So he will die, whatever, a new person will come along, put on the mask, and keep spreading the hate. When that person's dead, a new person will throw on the mask. The point is to always have someone carry the torch to keep spreading hate so that racism and bigotry will always be around. So I like the concept of that as far as for a villain, because Captain America, you know, he's for America, he's for justice and equality, and this is a good villain to have, someone that stands for the opposite of that, right? Okay, so the first story arc, we got introduced back to Nick Fury. He's back around and whatnot, and we got introduced to the big bad. Here you see Captain America and Nick Fury both trapped by Hate Monger. Like such a B-list villain captured to the top dogs. Like, what's up with that, right? These are two top working guys for the American government, and they got captured by a B-lister. Like that was kind of crazy, but it did do a good job of building up the villain for the story arc, right? Here you see the first Hate Monger when they removed his mask. We clearly know who that motherfucker is right there. And now we got here, we flip on to the next page, and we got these rookie S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. So their job is doing office work, paperwork, and going through files and so forth. And here you see them going through crates, and they open this crate. Clearly a big moment. So what this story is about, this first story arc, is that they find like kind of like the files or a recipe, if you will, to how to create the soldier serum that created Captain America. So they got it, but it's missing pages. So you got like 80% of the formula right here. So they're like, holy shit. Clearly the villains are going to get aware of this, and they want to create a new Captain America, right? But give this formula to a villain, right? So yeah, that's what this first half of the book is kind of about. That the idea, the plot of it and so forth. I found it pretty good, kind of interesting. The execution was a bit bland for me. I felt it had so much potential, and at the end of the day, it was just your basic superhero book. Captain America fighting a villain version of himself, right? Here we start getting into the second story arc once we're through with the Hate Monger stuff, where they created this villain version of Cap and so forth. Second story arc was a little more interesting, a little more to my liking. The writing and the stories, they kept improving as the book went, right? Like you saw this writer get more of a feel for the character and kind of get his grounding and forgot what he wanted to do with him, right? Now here, check out this second story. Captain America sees these guys like these kids in their early 20s, right? College students probably. catches him breaking into a facility. He says, "You got 3 minutes. If I don't like what I'm hearing, we'll continue this conversation at the local precinct house." Then this girl tells her boyfriend or her sidekick, "This man doesn't fuck around, Josh. He don't bluff." Then Josh tells Captain America, okay. The truth is, we're here to expose one of the greatest scams that's ever been dropped on the American public." Now, Captain America says, "Conspiracy theorists, you probably even have your own website, don't you?" We scroll here to the next page, and it says here, "Unreal, how did you know?" Falcon says, "Your age, your piercings, your attitude. We've seen this package before." Captain America says, "Their internet is a quagmire of irrational behaviors." And this guy Josh is like, "Cap, you want people to know the internet is for free speech and whatnot, right?" And Captain America's basically giving him a speech on how, yeah, but some people, once you get on the internet, they use it so irresponsibly to spread hate and so forth, right? So I really like this storyline and where it was going and whatnot, right? I don't want to give too much more away, but you get the gist of where this story is going. So once they're helping these kids out and so forth, you get further into the book, and this character here, he becomes like a living person almost, right? But he's a computer. He's holding all the information, and he's the thing that kids were talking about, how the internet, all that stuff it was doing. I'm not gonna get too much into the story of how, but it eventually turns into a basically living human, but still computer that holds all the information in the world of everybody, right? Of terrorists, of other countries, their plans and whatnot, right? Because everything goes to the web. So this is back in '99, so it's explaining to you how dangerous the internet is. It was a new thing back then, and it's how so many people were using it irresponsibly. Kind of like in 2012, 2010, when social media started, it was meant to build relationships and communities, and a lot of people used it to argue and to build a lot of hate, right? So they used it very responsibly. They don't know what to do with it, and this is how it was questioning how a lot of people back then were using the internet the same way in general. There was no social media yet, but just in general, like eBay, Amazon, they used to call it the Wild Wild West because so many scam artists used to go on eBay, sell shit, not send you anything, keep the money, and they've gotten better at protecting the customers and so forth, and also protecting the sellers, right? Because people would buy shit, say they didn't receive it, and keep the product and get their money back. And you know what's crazy? Because it's a learning curve whenever there's a new technology in general. Okay, here's Captain America, aka Steve Rogers, with his girlfriend right here, Connie. This is when he's Steve Rogers, his regular persona and his regular girlfriend, right? Very romantic scene. I like the coloring and everything. They had some nice downtime. It's good to see the characters not just fighting crime, but see what they're doing in their personal lives and so forth. Here's some SHIELD agents, Carter and Dum Dum Dugan. So you see they're sneaking up on him. You know, they're spying on him. And here she is. Now she dates him when he's Captain America, right? But I guess they broke up, and now he has this other girlfriend, but he still wants to return with her. So he's kind of kissing ass to her, trying to date her, but he's still with this other girl that he's trying to, that he kind of still likes, but he's unsure of because they fight a lot. She fights with him a lot because she's like, "You're never home. You never tell me anything about your life." He's like, "I'm Captain America. I can't tell you top secret information about the stuff I do." And he's like, "The fact that I told you I'm Captain America, that's trusting you a lot, because as a superhero, you can't just go around telling every girl you date who you are, right? You're a superhero. That could put you in danger and put them in danger." So they're always arguing because they hardly hang out because he's so busy at work. He's a Captain America, right? He's a workaholic. So eventually she tells him, "You know what? Maybe you should find somebody more like you. Somebody that's also a superhero, fighting crime with you side by side all the time. That way they spend time around you." And he's so indecisive about this information she gives him. Like, he doesn't know what to do. Here you see this girl, Carter, that's part of the SHIELD. She's not a superhero. She has no superpowers, but she does fight crime and she works for the government, just like Captain America. So he used to date her, right? And now he's deciding, since he doesn't spend enough time with his with his current girlfriend, he's like, maybe I should just go back to dating her. And she's like, "I don't want you, Cap." And she plays hard to get, telling him she's not interested in him and this and that. She should keep dating this other girl. At the end, he wins her over, and his friend Falcon tells him, "You can't just be dating both of them. Tell one or the other. Make up your mind what you're doing with your life, right?" So I like the moments, the regular people moments they have, because that carries the story, and you get to know the characters, right? Outside of their job. And Captain America is superior to Falcon as a superhero. Falcon is his sidekick. But as a person, at least on this book, it comes off like Falcon is superior to Captain America, to Steve Rogers, right? Like, he knows a lot more about life than him. And he even says like, oh, this, like, he's like, oh, this poor guy, without my guidance he'd be so lost because I'm always giving him good advice, right? So I really like the character of Falcon here in this book. I think it adds a lot to the character of Captain America. He needs him. It makes him better with the character in the stories with him, right? Without him, he's like kind of like almost like Mr. Perfect and very vanilla and bland. And I like that here they made Captain America like he's not perfect, right? He's almost like basically dating two girls. It's kind of an asshole move. And you don't expect this from Captain America, right? Because he's perfect. He stands for America and for everything right? So it's good to see. He also has flaws just like anybody else. One thing nobody likes is a perfect character with no flaws. It gets played out real quick. So it's good to see him with issues, to see how he resolves them, right? How he overcomes obstacles and so forth. Here in this book, this is late 90s. So this is this is Red Skull's costume at this time. Every freaking character in the 90s had a different costume than their norm. Most of the characters had a different costume because it was 90s. Everything was extreme in the 90s. So everybody had to have extreme costumes. This looks like something out of He-Man, right? Like this costume he's wearing, this does not fit Red Skull. Does not fit Captain America. I was not a fan of this suit whatsoever. But thank God the character itself still acted like Red Skull acts. Still an asshole, right? Look at what Red Skull does right here. He dresses up as an immigrant, like Hispanic or something. And he's telling other Hispanic people, they don't want us in this country. They want to kick us out. You know, the white man hates us and this and that. We got to stand up for ourselves. And, you know, teaching his people to hate America, hate Americans. Then he comes back again. He dresses as a black man. And he's telling the black community, these white people, they hate us. They're fucking racist and this and that. So he's getting the black community to hate the white people. Then he dresses as an Asian, and you can see where this is going. He gets everybody to hate on everybody. Then at the end here, he dresses as a white person, and he's like, oh, we need to get rid of these people. They just ruin our country. Look at them. They hate us, and they cause all this crime. So he's just dressing up as different people and speaking up for them to sabotage everybody, right? To build hate so that everybody talks shit about everybody else, and we have riots and all this stuff. And Captain America is not used to this. He's used to fighting Red Skull in like a hand-to-hand combat, or he's trying to take over the world, or a missile or something, right? He's trying to blow up a place. And here he's poisoning the regular civilians. So it's like he can't go around just beating up a bunch of regular civilians. So, you know, Red Skull really outsmarted him here, and he found a clever way to spread hate, much like what was going on a lot with social media and on television with the news, where they spread a bunch of lies to get everybody to hate each other, right? A lot of divisiveness, that with a lot of stuff that really wasn't most of it wasn't true. It will happen in one place and they have you believing it's happening everywhere, right? So this was crazy. From here on, the book really picked up when Red Skull became the main villain. Before that, it had its moments, but once he came in, it's like I really got into it. It's like, yeah, I really hate this fucker, right? Like, and that's what you want from a good villain, right? You want to bring that out of you, and it got a lot better in the first 2/3. It was hit and miss. It had its moments, and then it had a lot of moments where it was very bland. And then in the last like 200 pages or so forth, it really got pretty good, man. I was really enjoying the final part of it. All in all, as a whole, I think I'd give this book somewhere around 6.5. I think somewhere around 6.5. Like I said, the last third, that was more like about an 8. But yeah, overall, yeah, 6.5 for me. Let me know if you guys have read this run of Dan Jurgens. Let me know what you guys thought about it. And if you like this video, hopefully you hit that like button. You know, it helps out the channel. And other than that, I'll just check you guys out next time.